It's not Monday. Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday. Contrary to what I say in the topic line, it is Tuesday. Welcome to the program. How are you? How is everybody doing tonight? What are you grateful for on this Tuesday night? Hey, Adele and Dazzle are in first. Great to have you in here. How you doing tonight? Hello, Kitty. Great to have you here. Great to have you here tonight. How are you? Hey, Rick. Yes, welcome to the new set. I've been moved again. This is what, our fourth set or so? One, two. I think this is our fourth set. No, maybe our fifth. What we had the stairs in the background, then we had the other set, then we changed and we had the black back or gray background. Then we had the glass case, then the fireplace. So I guess this is our fifth set. You know, I mean, in 300 episodes, this is our fifth set in 301 episodes for our 301st episode. Great to have you all here. Hey, Julie Jankowitz is in the party. Yes, I arrived to a new set and new decorations. I got all sorts of stuff going on here. I don't even know what's going on here. I came I came in and the new stage was set. So I don't even know everything that's behind me or on. I got nothing. I trying to remember where I put my water down in the new set. So but it is coming together. It is coming together, and that is a nice thing. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? How are you? Great to have you here. It is great to have everybody here tonight. What are you all grateful for tonight? What are all you guys grateful for on this Tuesday evening? On this Tuesday night? Tell me what you are grateful for. That's what we want to know. That is what we want to know. Is what are you grateful for? I need to hang the calendar back. Well, the calendar is actually normally in this room. It's over there. It's off camera. This is actually there's a lot going on in this room. I mean, we have in this room we have our Real Men Punch Pink from there is a Nards Cup behind me. How about that? Well, we'll just have to, you guys will have to see. I mean, maybe my peanut gallery will play with you and change up what's behind me, and you guys will have to see what you notice in my background. This is now set up in part of my home office, so I'm not taking up huge parts of the rest of the house. Is the theory, so that I have a set to hop on. So we will see. They're just getting me set up here. I literally walked in the door just a few minutes before coming on. So it's been a long day. I've had to cover. One of our newer employees was like weird working with me today because they were like, "This isn't your normal. This isn't your normal role." She was very nervous, which I bring out in people. I have that effect on some people, so especially newer employees, which is why they keep me away from them. But, you have a couple of people out getting tested and other things, and you're shorthanded. That's okay. But let's get started here, because we got stuff we want to cover tonight. let's get the Good Morning, Good Night book. It moved to the new set. It is on the new, it moved, it's here, it's on the new set. And Julie is grateful for her Nartz family who helped her so much. We're grateful for you, Julie. Hey, Nebraska Angie. Yes, I mean, it's what things can you pick out on the background behind, there are so many things. Hey, Eric is lurking behind the curtain tonight. Actually, he came out in front of the curtain. The new set brought it out in him. He didn't know where to hide behind the curtain. All right, well, let's get going with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Friend Lynn Manuel Miranda. And tonight we are on page 84. Page 84 in the Good Morning, Good Night book. Have a good morning. No pressure, though. All right. What do we got going on here today? Well, this just really talks, this quote of the day really talks about us, so I like this one. The value of learning is greater when we share what we learn. The value of learning is greater when we share what we learn. Isn't that the case? And speaking of which, Nartz Virtual Winter Summit is coming up on Sunday, January 31st. Sunday, January 31st. This isn't far away, folks. Just a little over 2 weeks away. Nartz Virtual Winter Summit. You don't want to miss that, where the value of learning is greater when we share what we learn. All right? With Melissa speaking on 6 figures a month, 7 figures a year on Facebook Live. Yes, you can. That is in the morning, after morning networking. And Colleen Lloyd-Roberts of Monkey and Hats will be talking in the afternoon on website statistics, how to read, understand, and use them to grow your website. So this is good stuff, plus plenty of networking. It is as close to in real life as you can get, as close to F, face-to-face as you can get, I think is the term Adele threw at me the other day. And it is. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you are there for it. Nartz Virtual Winter Seminar. And I just, with the value of learning is greater when we share what we learn, I just had to share that. A growing thing, which, makes sense, okay, and other companies have been doing it for a while. I mean, shoot, we do it. Amazon and Walmart this post-holiday season are telling consumers to skip the returns of unwanted items. Retailers have a new message for consumers looking to return an item. Keep it. Amazon, Walmart, and other companies are using artificial intelligence to decide it's not really artificial. It's just if it costs more to ship it back than you're going to make by reselling it, repackaging it, and everything else. But their artificial intelligence is deciding whether it makes economic sense to process a return. For inexpensive items or large ones that would incur hefty shipping fees, it's often cheaper to refund the purchase price and let the customer keep the products. The relatively new approach, popularized by Amazon and a few other chains, is being adopted more broadly during the COVID-19 pandemic. As the surge in online shopping forces companies to rethink how they handle returns. This is done by a company. The software they're using is a company called Narvar Incorporated, Narvar, that is helping companies decide whether it's better for people to keep it or better to send it back. Now, the interesting thing with this is not only economics, this is going to get interesting in reverse logistics, because it's also going to reduce the excess and what people are buying in pallets to resell and such. So you're going to see a variety of economic effects from this. when people are keeping it. Obviously there's always people that'll game the system, but the majority of people are just, it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. And so they don't even want it. It's not even like they're getting it to game the system. They're like, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So a lot of that is getting donated or given to a friend or something else. But it is interesting, and that software is tracking whether you are trying to game the system. So don't game the system in that. What did I want to talk about tonight? So we're going to talk about a couple of things tonight. We still got to talk about the PPP because that is, yes, it could absolutely be an opportunity for us without getting the pallets, Kitty. So it's really going to be, we usually run an email after Christmas, come by what you really wanted and consign what you got. And so this could be an additional opportunity for the resale market. It could absolutely be that. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And, it depends on how widespread it becomes, how much of it they're doing. But, as much as they popularize free shipping, shipping is not free. As any of us that ship anything know, shipping is not free. We spend a hefty sum with the post office every month, and it is not free. So I am, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. In the whole marketplace of unwanted items. So of which we actually have a business about. These are things that we're not people were not interested in anymore. So it is a very interesting thing, and we will definitely monitor it. So tonight we're talking about a couple of things. We got to talk about the PPP again, okay, or continue to talk about the PPP because it is what's grabbing all your attention. It is what you guys are calling me about. It is what you are emailing me about, and that's fine. That is exactly what I am here for. So I'm happy to do it. Staples, that's one that I remember. There is one big item that we got from them one time that they told us to keep, and I was just dumbfounded by it. I want to say it was a couple $100 that they told us not to return, but they credited our account for it. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. That was back when I liked Staples. Now Staples is banned. Staples is on the persona non grata list. I will not do business with Staples. I will not do business with Staples, after the way they operated during the pandemic. So I will not do it. I will shop with everybody else. So, but I will not, even when it's convenient to go hop into a Staples store and grab something, I will not do it. It's a principle. For whatever that principle is going to get me. So let's talk PPP, folks. Let me hit what people are calling about and the questions I'm getting. And because I know if I'm getting a bunch of calls like this and a bunch of emails, I know there are a whole bunch of you that have these exact same questions that have not called or emailed me. So I am happy to hop onto it for a little bit tonight and talk PPP. First and foremost, let's talk about people who never got a PPP. Let's deal with that again. Okay, if you never got a PPP, when the PPP first came out, okay, you did not get a PPP most of the time because you got an idle loan advance that was greater than what your PPP was, equal to, greater, or very close to what your PPP was going to be. Okay, in that case, you can now get a PPP. You can now be a first-time PPP borrower. Okay, even if you got offered a PPP, so let's say you applied but did not take it, you are still a first-time borrower. So you are not a second-time borrower. If you applied for the PPP, saw how much you were going to get, and said, "Oh, I'm going to lose. Then I'm just going to have to give it back because of my idle advance," then you are a first-time borrower, and it is fine to apply for it. No matter how small, honestly, it is. I mean, I know people that got a PPP for under $1,000, but under $1,000 is the world to that business. Okay, $900 is the world. I mean, $900. Most of us value $900 still. Okay, but in many businesses, and when you're small, really small, that $900 makes a huge difference. So now that the idle advance is not going to get subtracted from your PPP, you should apply as a first-time borrower. Even if you were approved in the past and did not take it, you are considered a first-time borrower and should apply. Okay, if you're unclear or unsure or unsure what to do with the application, just let me know. I'm happy to help you answer any questions. Okay, as long as you're not in the restaurant business, you qualify for 2.5 times your monthly payroll. Okay, which is your annual payroll for either the previous 12 months, 2019 or 2020. Okay, whichever, you're allowed to use any of those figures depending on when you apply. So anyone applying right now, you can apply using 2019 figures, 2020 figures for payroll. Whichever gets you a higher PPP, you are allowed to use. Okay? If you wait several weeks, you can do February to February as a 12-month period. But basically, the calendar year 2020 or the calendar year 2019 at this time, you can use those figures. And the biggest caveat is any owners cannot have, you can't include owner compensation only up to $100,000 in a calendar year as part of your PPP calculation. You're not allowed to use any amount that exceeds $100,000 in that calculation. So that is that side of it. But it's just real important. Don't think it's not worth it. I mean, if you can get a few $1,000s, if you can get $5,000, I mean, everything is about getting to the other side of this. So every bit of money added to your bank account is such an important amount. Okay, is truly important. Every little bit that is added to your bank account is truly important. So don't diminish that. If you can get a few $1,000s, $10,000, whatever the amount is, go for it. Since you're not going to have to give back the idle advance, that is a grant. Please apply. Please apply, because this is about your survival, your business's survival, and your business's ability to thrive. And that little bit extra in your bank account will help that along. Now let's take a look. I'm going to move from the first time application to the second time application. And it has many of the same questions on it, but people have been getting tripped up on a few things. And so I want to highlight what people are getting tripped up on just to make sure that everybody's clear on it. Again, average monthly payroll is 2.5 times. So 2.5 times your payroll. If you use the same time frame that you're allowed to use the same time frame as your initial application. Back when the PPP was originally issued, you were allowed to use 2019 figures or the previous 12 months. Now you're able to use the previous 12 months, 2019 figures, or 2020 figures. If you're able to use the same figures, if you use 2019 figures, it's recommended you continue to use that unless there's a substantial increase in using 2020 figures. But if you use the same figures, you don't have to give additional paperwork. Okay, you don't have to give your quarterly payroll records and such with the application if you are using the same time frame to calculate your PPP. It's the same amount, and you are working with the same bank. Okay, then you do not need to use you do not a separate one. The other thing that is really messing people up on this is number of employees. Okay, and really they're looking to be that you are below 300 employees. Okay, is the biggest thing they are looking for. But they're also, this program is about saving jobs, okay, and keeping people employed. So they're actually looking for full-time equivalents on the application. So that is your annual payroll hours divided by the total hours that you used for payroll last year, divided by 2080 gives you a full-time equivalent. 2080 is 40 hours a week times 52 weeks. And that then gives you a full-time equivalent when you divide that out, your total payroll hours for your company. Make sure you include salaried people in there, because some payroll softwares include that at 0 hours. Some payroll software includes salary employees at 40 hours. I've seen it both ways. There's no right or wrong, but you want to make sure that you include those salary people if your system is tracking it at 0 instead of 40. So that you want to make sure you add that in correctly, so that you have your FTEs in there. That is what that is. The next question that is getting people caught up is sales. Okay, because to get a second draw PPP loan, your sales have to have been down 25% or more in 1 quarter of 2020 to 1 quarter of 2019. Oops, hang on, rewind. Kitty wanted me to go back. Oh, Julie wants me to go back on that. I thought it was Kitty. Sorry, Julie wants me to go back on that. Okay, so Julie, some payroll softwares calculate salaried people at 0 hours, just straight salary, doesn't include any hours for them. And some payroll softwares automatically list them at 40 hours. You can see that by looking at a regular payroll journal for any of your payrolls. Are they in there with your hours for all your employees, or are they not in there? And I forget in yours, although your file's over there somewhere. I'm not going to get it out while we're broadcasting. But that's one way. So then you're taking your total payroll hours for that period of time. So you add up all that in, and for each, if they are a full-time person, and your current payroll software is counting it at 0 hours, you would add in 2,080 hours, 2080 for each full-time person. That is 40 hours times 52 weeks. You then divide the total hours for the company by 2080 to get a full-time equivalent, the number of full-time equivalent employees. So you take your total payroll hours for the year for all the employees, divide it by 2080 to get your full-time equivalents. That work? The next thing that's getting people caught up is sales. Okay? To qualify for a second PPP, you need to have had a 25% reduction in sales during any 1 quarter of 2020 when compared to the exact same quarter of 2019. Okay? And the issue with that for people is some people have added a store. Other people have closed stores. Okay? Some people had 3 stores and now they have 2. And this works both for payroll and for sales. So a store that had 3 stores last year in 2019 and only 2 stores in 2020 had a bigger payroll. That's okay. You are still allowed to get a PPP based on 2019 numbers if you have less sales and less staff. They know this, okay? The government knows this. You still have to spend it within the required rules of the program. You have to spend 60% of whatever you get on payroll, but you are allowed to do that. So if you have less staff in 2021 than you did in 2019 and less payroll, and you're using 2019 numbers where your payroll was much bigger because maybe you had an extra store or more staff because you were busier, your new PPP can be based on that. That's okay on when you had more. That's okay. It's also the case that if you expand it in 2020, okay, and you are bigger than you were in 2020, and now you have this bigger store, or you have more stores, if they are all under the same tax ID number, that may hurt you in getting a second PPP, because you must be down between 2020 and 2019 numbers by at least 25% in the exact same quarters. Okay, so example, for many of you, that is the second quarter. Okay, the second quarter of 2020 to the second quarter of 2019. And if your store was much smaller and now it's much bigger, and you've actually made up that so you're not down because of your increase in size or the volume, or you added a store, maybe you were just clothing and you added a store of furniture, then you're going to be out of luck. You can't exclude you cannot exclude that the new store from your calculation unless it's under a separate business tax ID number. If all your businesses are under separate tax ID numbers, they'd be excluded. If they're all under one tax ID number, they'd be included. And that seems to be the big hiccup. But, and I keep on hearing, but I was so much smaller, and now I have this big overhead, and yeah, I'm doing more sales, so I'm technically not down, but I really am and the government doesn't care. I care. I want to give you a hug. Hugs coming your way, hearts. I'm giving you all that, but you have to be down. And do not fudge these numbers, people. This is all under pains and penalties of perjury. You're going to have to be able to prove this under audit, should you be audited. Do not play games with it, okay? If you are unsure whether your numbers balance, if you need I have a pink calculator right here. If you need a calculation, I am happy to do that. I'm happy to go to review your numbers with you. This is not where I do it on the air and say, you give me your numbers and you give me no, all your numbers are confidential. That is not how we do it. You just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, and make sure you include your phone number, and I will call you back, or I will FaceTime you. And no, I don't wear makeup either or do my hair just before I FaceTime you. So don't worry about it if you have not done yours either. Okay? That we're going to get everybody to the other side of this, but I want to make sure you get everything that you are entitled to. Lastly tonight, let's talk briefly about the Employee Retention Tax Credit again. One of the things that I've advised you to do is to delay filing your 941 for the fourth quarter till we talked about the ERTC. And now, with some updated guidance I got today, is go ahead and file it. Okay, go ahead and file your fourth quarter 941. And because it is working better under the new law, most of the systems can't handle it if it wasn't filed. So file it, and then you will be able to file an amended one when we go over everything for the ERTC and your eligibility for it, which I've promised you we will dive deep. I just got to get you all through the PPP because it's time sensitive. PPP trumps the ERTC just because it's time sensitive. So file your 941s, and then we will talk, and you will file an amended to get your credit. And your credit is cash. If you are in a qualifying area, your credit isn't just like some miscellaneous government credit. This is cash that will be coming your way. And so we will dive deeper into that, but let's get through this with the PPP and all your questions that you have with that, and then we will go there. But I was advised, I got some updated guidance today that said, go ahead, file it because of some issues that they're having in processing it. Process your 941 as normal, and then we will go through as I step you through it, and we will file amended ones for those that are eligible, which many of you are eligible. I know my whole Illinois contingent is going to do very well with the ERTC. We should here in the Northeast as well. A lot of the more northern state, Albuquerque is going to have no problem with it. There's going to be lots of areas that are going to be able to get something with it. So do not worry about that. We're going to cover that and make sure that everybody understands it. But that was the updated guidance I got today. Go ahead and file your fourth quarter 941, and then we're going to go forward with the amended and getting you some expedited cash with that. But and I will even talk to your account. I talked to lots of accountants. I think I've talked to like 3 today. Well, plus my own, 4. But you are going to qualify, Kelly, under the new rules. So we're going to get everybody up to speed. I've got some stuff coming from people in DC too. I sent for clarification, and we will absolutely step through all of this. I promise you that, and we will do that. I absolutely, positively promise you that. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think how many accountants or bookkeepers I talked to today. Many different states, though. Many different states, which is good. I mean, I like it, you know. My only fun thing with accountants, and I laugh at it, that's sort of where I got out of being an accountant, you know, when I was sitting there in accounting class. And when I learned that there wasn't only one way to do it. It's not, you know, so many accountants think that this is the only way you list this, and there's no other way to do it. And it's cute that they think that, but that's not the case 99% of things. You know, every accountant has their own way, and as long as I understand it, and as long as it all works out, in the end, it's fine. It's just funny sometimes when them and computer people, this is the only way it can work. But hey, I digress. But we're going to cover all that. But that is the PPP. We need to get you through the PPP and get you all comfortable with the application, getting your documentation ready, getting everything ready so that you are in on that. I know some of your banks have already started accepting applications, even though they can't submit them to the SBA, and I'm very excited for that, and excited for you on that. But I want you to have all your ducks in a row for it, because I want you to be able to get this. I don't want you shut out of it. And so I want you either to get your first time PPP if you have not gotten one, or get your second draw PPP if you are eligible, which many of you are. So I'm super excited by that. And those are the 2 big things that I have been spending a lot of time answering questions on today. So I mean that's been the big thing. And I know when it's a big thing, when my calls and emails are about that, I know that I need to go over stuff. So for those of you that got it on the first try, but the rest of the class, we need to help everybody. We need to bring everybody along, because we're not leaving anybody behind. Nobody gets left behind here. That is the name of the game. That is the name of the game. You know, this video and everything we talk about goes over to narts.org/resale strong by noon the very next day. Noon, I tell you. Cassandra and Adele make it all happen. They get all the forms. They get these videos over there and with the direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share narts.org/resale strong with everybody you know in business. Everybody you know, so that we can help everybody. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker. Doesn't matter what their industry is. We want to help everybody get to the other side of this. And that is why you share that out, because you want to help your fellow business people. I am here every night at More 8 Than Ish, live in the Narts private Facebook group. If you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. I don't know why some of you have been having a spelling issue with that. After 301 nights, I think some of you would have that down by now. I think Dazzle could type it. But a couple of you this weekend had stuff get returned because you did the I before the E. You hokey-pokeyed my name. It's okay. I don't take it personally. But I just found it funny. Kathy, it's great to have you here tonight. We start this program every night. What did I do with my glasses? Every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book. And our friend Lin-Manuel Miranda. Less than 6 degrees of separation, even though he has no clue who we are. But that's the whole 6-degree thing. Won't he be surprised when he finds out that we were just this close to him the whole time? Tonight, if you were not here at the top of the program in the book, we are on page 84. Our good morning today was, have a good morning. No pressure, though. Our good night tonight is, have a good night, everyone is counting on you. Sweet dreams. Yes, everyone is counting on you, your community. But don't wear that as a burden. Wear that as an honor that your community is counting on you and you're going to pull through. There is your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even. We will party again. We will party in person. And when we do, I will be there with you. I promise you that. I do. But I'll be here virtually with you at the Narts Virtual Summit on the 31st. We can all be around a big table on the 31st, looking at each other, talking to each other, lifting each other up. We'll be there. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I'll be back here tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish. But until then, know that you, and most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. I'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. Have a great night. It's time for dinner.